Screen is visible, right? Ushaji, screen is visible?
Visible now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we will go into the second topic. So today, 3.7 definition and nature of behavior, kinds of behavior, motivation. Okay, what is human behavior? Human behavior refers to the full range of physical and emotional behavior that humans engage in biologically, socially, intellectually, and are influenced by culture, attitude, emotions, value, ethics, authority, rapport, persuasion, coercion, and genetics. Generally, we say that I don't like the person's behavior. Okay, but behavior is so deep rooted that it has to do a lot of things with biological, intellectual, what is the culture in which the person comes in, attitude, emotions, value, ethics, authority, rapport, persuasion. So many factors are there for human behavior. It's very complex. Human nature is the concept that there are a set of logical characteristics, including ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. Always remember, these are the three things which behavior uh, takes up: thinking, feeling, and then ultimately how you act on that thought. All normal human beings have in common the sum of qualities and traits shared by all humans. The way of thinking common to most of all human beings or that are learned in social institutions. So the complexity of behavior is discussed. Behavior is not just what we see outward. It's a deep rooted thing which has to do a lot of things with culture, values, attitude, belief systems, upbringing, a lot of things. We'll see what are the types of motives. Biological motives are also known as physiological motives as they are guided mostly by physiological mechanisms of the body. For example, whatever physiological movements are there. Psychosocial motives, on the other hand, are primarily learned from the individual's interaction with various environmental factors. So one is nature, other one is nurture. Biological motives focus on the innate. Innate means deep inside. Biological causes of motivation like hormones, neurotransmitters, brain structures, hypothalamus, limbic systems, all those things which are more on the physiological part. Whereas psychosocial motives are focused on psychological and social things as well as environmental factors. What we learn, we acquire. For example, need of achievement, that I want to achieve something. Affiliation means people should include me everywhere. People should call me, talk to me. Power, we all know, curiosity and exploration, and self-actualization motives. So everybody has two types of motives. One which is very physiological in nature, which are more to do with our bodily needs. The other one is more of psychosocial uh, nature, which is how people should treat me, what should I be known as, people should like me, people should involve me in all the activities, the feeling of being inclusion or included. That is what the psychosocial. Now, everything has a deep inside and extrinsic. Now, what is intrinsic motivation? Intrinsic motivation are nothing but what deep inside me I feel like I have to belong to something. Deep inside me I feel I have to be, I should be loved. Whereas extrinsic motives are basically what People talk about, if I do that, what I will get. If I do something, in what way I get promoted, or what way I am punished. What if I say something, whether people will criticize me? What if I do something and I don't succeed? So they are all extrinsic. Whereas intrinsic motives are deep, very deep. They talk about our love, affection, what people should treat, how people should treat, everything. All of us know what is Maslow's hierarchy, right? If you don't know, we will go through that. Maslow talks about the same thing. What we talk about is the first needs are more of roti kapda or makan. So it is a very, very famous model, Maslow's hierarchy. Needs were categorized as 5 levels of lower higher order needs. We'll go through that. Individual must satisfy the lower level needs before they can satisfy higher order needs. Satisfied needs will no longer motivate. Motivating a person depends on knowing at what level that a person is on the hierarchy. Now listen carefully. Like what I said, the basic needs are like roti, kapda or makan. Food, water, warmth, rest. The moment somebody gets that basic needs, then comes the second need. This is a worldwide model. It has withstood so many centuries. The second need is safety needs, which talks about security, safety. The third thing is, so these are two basic needs. Okay. We want a house. We want safety in the house. The third one onwards, it comes into the mind. Belongingness and love needs, intimate relationship, friends. The moment one attains that, then comes the other need, esteem needs. Now I need to be known everywhere. People should talk about me. I should be a popular person. However, after that, the people, when they go into a senior age, then they start feeling that now I need to contribute back. It's a stage where money doesn't matter. People feel that now, what do I do with my life? I have to give back to the society. So Maslow's hierarchy talks about physiological needs, which are all our basic needs. Then talks about security and safety. And after that, they talk about belongingness. Now, once the money comes, house is there, everything is there, people feel that now I need to be called by people. I need to have friends around. After that, the person feels that now I should be more known. I should be more of a popular person. The last need is very important. That is the time when people feel that now it's time for me to contribute back to society. The next one, McClellan need theory for achievement. McClellan had a study called Need for Achievement, which talks about the desire to excel and succeed. Anything which we do, we want to be successful in that field. So, need for achievement has three dimensions. One is drive to excel. So, let us look at only our yoga. Okay. The initial thing will be we want to drive to excel, achieve in relation to a set of standards. We want to do something. Then slowly comes that now I have been practicing, I have done my courses. Now I need to know what is that, how do I control others? Okay, either by my knowledge or by my teaching or by my experience. And the third one is need for affiliation, where we talk about the higher needs, which is for relationship. So this also is a part of lots of theories are there that uh, typically if you look at how many people are, this is a very clear thing that as they go, they need to go into a different dimension. Now, last evening I was talking about Carl Jung. Okay, there's a lot of study of Indian systems by Carl Jung. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and philosopher. He is best known for his various works on psychology and is widely considered to be the father of analytical psychology. Psychology of the unconscious, psychological types, and affection. He talks about anima. Okay, Jung's personality theory is very, very important. Many corporate psychometric testings are a result of that. He says there are everybody has either extrovert or introvert. After that, he says we are very very excited and do things, or we are people who deeply analyze. That is person who thinks deeply. Then how the person senses. Okay, and there are people who sense. There are people who have intuition. The people who are introvert will have a lot of intuition. They'll be. Then how do we take decision? Either we are taking decisions through thinking, or we are taking decision through feeling. The next one is how we approach life, whether we are extrovert or introvert. We have tests like this. Maybe at some point we will use the test just to know, uh, our students what is their personality type. I have the test. Maybe at some point, if Menon sir feels that we have time, we can administer the test, and we'll get to know about each personality. What is the function? The thinking person, what he does? They are very introverts. For example, theoretical scientists, inventors. Whereas the extroverts are research scientists, accountants, mathematicians. At the feeling level, what the introvert does is very subjective. He always starts analyzing. Whereas the other person, the kind of function which they are into real estates, appraisers, objectives, movie critics. The next one is sensation. People who sense things are always like artists, classical musicians. The other people are people who are generally uh, at a very different level. They are wine taste because for them everything has to be feelings, and they have to really feel it. Like wine tasters, proofreaders, popular musicians, house painters. The next level is intuition. For example, an introvert, the intuition will be there are people who are prophets, mystics, and religious fanatics. Whereas for the others, some are inventors, religious reformers. These are all personality types. We don't have to study so much. So I thought, let me just take you through the overview. What does an introvert enjoy spending time alone? We all know that. It may speak and acting. Can be seen as a word, gains energy, social situation, make quick decisions, can be seen as an outgoing and enthusiastic, thrives in team-oriented work setting. Let us stop here for a moment. What do you all feel? Each of you. Ushaji, you are an introvert or an extrovert?
ऐसे नहीं मैं ज्यादा इंट्रोवर्ट भी नहीं और एक्सट्रोवर्ट भी नहीं हूँ ज्यादा.
Okay, you know what? That's the right answer because there is something called ambivert. Okay, they are neither introvert nor extroverts. Based on the situation, they move. Okay, so which is actually a good quality. You sit and analyze. So based on the situation, ambivert comes. At times they are introvert when it comes to certain things. At times they are extrovert. Extroverts are very very easily seen. Suppose if you go for a party or if you go for a marriage, you will find the extrovert quickly coming and talking to everybody. The introvert will be there who will be taking little time and then slowly open up. So actually there are a lot of tests which we can try out maybe when time permits to know. It actually will tell you exactly what you are. Huh? It's like taking our horoscope. People who believe in horoscope. The next thinker. So we have gone through Jung. Yesterday we have gone through Sigmund Freud, id, ego, superego. Today we have covered Carl Jung. Just overview. Now we have gone to Alfred Adler. Alfred Adler, 1870, Vienna. Most of these people were from Europe. Second born of six, middle class Jewish family, close to mother until younger brother, then sought the support of his father. Developed rickets, which kept him from walking until he was 4 years old. nearly died of pneumonia at 5. He is the co-founder of psychoanalytic movement as a core member of the Vienna Psychoanalytic Society, founder of the School of Indian Individual Psychology, was the first major figure to break away from psychoanalysis to form an independent school of psychotherapy and personality, died in 1937 of heart attack. So psychotherapy from psychoanalytic schools, it has now slowly moved into psychotherapy. Alfred Adler, theory of inferiority. Need for self-esteem can be thought of one of the social needs. Self-esteem means people feel that I should be included. People should talk about me. People should take care of me. If not, then I develop a lot of complex. I cannot face people. Need for self-esteem can be thought of one of the social needs. A person's sense of self-esteem depends on feedback from others. The need and anxiety it produces was emphasized by Adler. Everyone feels inferior to a certain degree. This motivates us to get better. Common cause, parental neglect. So when the child grows up, the parents always feel, oh, this, my son is like this, my daughter is like that. And that self-esteem gets affected. Self-esteem is very, very powerful. As you grow, if you read Bhagavad Gita and all those things, there is a powerful thing on Siddha Prajna and self-esteem. Self-esteem is very, very important. It is something which you give to yourself, which others cannot take. So self-esteem is a powerful thing. All emotional intelligence lies at the root of self-esteem. There are 5 types of inferiority. One is physical inferiority, where people feel that I am unwell, I am not fit, I am lean, I am fat. The other one is intellectual. The third one is psychological. The fourth one is social, and the fifth one is economical. 2 methods of coping with inferiority is inferiority and superiority complex. To deal with inferiority, people either overcompensate by engaging in social behavior or become lazy, tentative, and helpless. If you look at the people like, Adolf Hitler is a clear case of overcompensating. I think he was very small, short, and a different kind of personality. He compensated his personality by speech and a powerful orator. Overall, the way people overcome inferiority provides the basis for their lifelong personality. Lot of areas you can find the channelizing happening. People use their inferiority complex. For example, Amitabh Bachchan, okay, he was very lean, but they say his voice compensated for that leanness. He was very, very strong on his voice in spite of the leanness. Otherwise, those days, people do not like lanky people in the industry. So, self-esteem is nothing but how do you maintain yourself when it comes to physical, intellectual, psychological, social, and economical. The only normal people are the one you don't know very well. So, according to him, everybody has some amount of abnormality. Okay, they say no, we are neither normal nor abnormal, we are subnormal. Personality. Now, in the family, the firstborn, if many of us have siblings, siblings, we can look at it. The firstborn are people who are leaders, responsible types, need to manage, need self-control. They will be always taking care of their siblings. As a result, they will not take many risks because they feel that if I do something wrong, my whole brothers and sisters may get disturbed. The second born, middle born people, they are compromisers, need to belong, peacekeepers, need people in order to succeed, and will go far to keep relationship intact. The third one, quiet achievers, finishes work well, want recognition, secretive, aim to please mostly themselves by setting high bars. The third set, the youngest ones, idea people, creative, fun, impatient, Enjoy life sometimes can be hedonistic. Hedonistic means totally looking at happiness, but impact everyone. I can relate very well because I am the fifth in the family. I'm the youngest in the family, and most of the creative things, art, painting, music, everything, I was there. And I don't know whether I have created impact everywhere, but I can relate most of the things. So y- here we stop. Okay, today's session. Just to recap, 3.7 talks about behavior, complexity of behavior, because behavior has a lot of dimension: biological, social, intellectual, culture, emotion, attitude, value, authority, rapport, persuasion. Human nature is the concept that there are a set of logical characteristics, including ways of thinking. And remember, human behavior, the major three dimensions are thinking, feeling, and acting. We have seen two types of motives: biological motives, which are more physiological in nature. The other one is psychosocial motives, which are more, sense of achievement. People should recognize me. We have seen two types of motivation: intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, people, they do not require any, they do things purely for their own sake. They are not worried about what people think, whether I'm making people happy or not. They are only thinking that whatever I do can be for a larger benefit, whereas others look at immediate gains. Then we have seen Maslow's hierarchy, 5 levels. The first 2 levels are basic needs. The next 2 levels are psychological needs. The last level is self-fulfillment. That is a very, very higher level. Sthita prajna kind of thing comes there. Then we have seen McClellan theory, need for achievement. 3 levels are there: need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. Remember that yoga example. Then we have seen Carl Jung, and we have seen introvert, extrovert. We have seen how each introvert and extrovert start thinking. Then we have seen, next after that, we have seen Adler. Adler talks about theory of inferiority, physical inferiority, the 5 levels: intellectual, psychological, social, economic. Think about uh, Adolf Hitler that time. Then we spoke about what traits are there, how the newborn in the family, how each sibling performs, how each sibling will take a response. These are all, see, these are all generic statements. Many a time you will be able to relate it. That is why it is said psychology is an inexact science. There may be a lot of variation. Okay. So here we stop for today.